y'all? This is Ron Faison of Everyone Under the Sun in the Hue Crew. So one day, I'm watching my nephew Trey, who absolutely loves music, and he's one of the brightest, smartest, intelligent kids I've ever witnessed ever in life. He watches YouTube all day long. So one day he's watching educational content. I tune in to what he's watching, and it's like, it's hip hop and it's educational, but I didn't feel like it was hip hop. As a musician myself, I come from hip hop background. My idea of what hip hop is not what I witnessed, the content that he was watching. You could tell that they wanted it to be hip hop because the kids were rapping and everything like that, but it just was so cheesy to me that I didn't like it. So that was the first thing that caught my attention. Then the second thing that caught my attention was that while I was watching the content, there were no people of color in any of the content that he was watching. So there was a little girl in the classroom who was a little darker than everybody else, and there was a little boy on the school bus who was a little darker than everybody else. There were no people of influence. Honestly, it angered me because our kids are watching this stuff every day, and they don't get a chance to see anyone of color be influential. They don't get to witness any people of color in any influential roles, positive influential roles. Part of me believes that our kids are not getting a chance to see anyone of color in any prominent roles, and is actually influencing them in a negative way. So that's how the Hue Crew was born, from watching Trey, and that's what sparked the idea for the Hue Crew. I don't know that everyone knows this, but since 2019, I've been in a tough battle with cancer, and having a battle with cancer started to make me think about work and things that outlive me. So the Hue Crew partially came about because I wanted to do some things that meant more than money to me, and some things that my daughter could be proud of. Dealing with the cancer fight, it was important to me to have some things that my daughter could hold on to, and it was important for something that could be legacy, represent my legacy after I'm no longer here. Many people saw that I was in a cancer fight, but they didn't know how bad things were. I knew that things were getting worse, and that let me know that I had to start to assemble a team that'll get the job done no matter what. When I started to assemble the team, I reached out to my man Eric Hall because he's just the dopest dude. I mean, like, who else, right? No, I'm just playing. So I reached out to Eric because I know that he would not compromise the integrity of the music, and he's a guy that has such a wide range of knowledge in music, and he knows hip hop for sure. He also knows jazz, he knows gospel, he knows R&B, and all these things. So I reached out to Eric because I know that he could get the job done. Eric Hall actually wrote, produced, and performed all of the content that you see so far, all of the music. So make sure y'all paying attention to Mr. Eric Hall. That's my guy. So then I reached out to my man Frank Brown. Frank Brown is a brother of mine, and a big bro, and a great friend of mine. And he also has a wide range of talent and everything, but ultimately I know he will put his best foot forward. I see Frank go to war on my behalf for work stuff many times. I needed to know that someone on a team, such as a guy like Frank, could help keep things together no matter what happens to me. That's my man Frank Brown. Even though I call Eric Hall and Frank Brown for certain things, as a small company, we end up doing everything. Like, Eric not only does music, but sometimes he does the video editing, and he does social media promotions and all types of other things. Frank has ended up doing everything from legal work to storyboarding the cartoons, and helping animation out. And these two guys proved to be the right people for the job, because at one time I ended up in the hospital for a long time. was in the hospital for about 4 months, and during that time I couldn't do no work, but the work kept going. I knew that I had the right people on the team, and even if I never made it out of the hospital, I knew they would still push the legacy forward and push the cartoon forward because, you know, they were passionate about it and they love it too. My good friend Shantae Anderson of the Coordinate Group came to see me one day when I was doing chemo, and she's super dope with naming and branding, and you know, I always call on her for things like that. You know, she brands events, and you know, she's been working behind the scenes with us with the Faison Group before she started her own company for a long time. And she gave me a list of names that would work with the idea of the Hue Crew, which didn't have a name at the time. So Frank and Eric and I took some time to go through the list, and we chose the name the Hue Crew, and we also took the name Everyone Under the Sun for our company name. Shout out to Shantae of the Coordinate Group. So for every company I ever had, Jeffrey Marshall, who's my cousin, did the logo. So it only made sense to call him and ask him about a logo for the Hue Crew. He gave us a bunch of logos that we could choose from, and ultimately we picked the one that we had because we wanted something that was fun for the kids, but also something that would catch the attention of adults. That's how we got our logo. What's next for the Hue Crew? So right now we're working on more content, of course. Eventually it'll run kind of like, you know, a label. We'll be accepting submissions for voiceover people and music and animation and everything, and it'll just be one big company. We'll be rolling. But right now we're working on new content, and we're working on some other things. Prayerfully, we're gonna get to do some episodes, and you know, it's not just gonna be music. It's gonna be some episodes and some other things. We'll be introducing you to all the characters in the next couple of weeks. But stay tuned and be patient because it takes a lot of work to get the end result that you see. We're working hard, but trust me, we're not giving up on the Hue Crew, and you'll definitely see more stuff coming soon.